I swear, this day in America made absolutely 0 sense, and the worst part is, it started completely normal. That morning, I woke up late because my phone alarm decided to update itself at 3 a.m. instead of ringing. Apparently, software updates are more important than my job. Anyway, I rushed out of my apartment and realized my neighbor was standing outside talking to his dog. Not to his dog, with his dog. He paused mid-conversation, looked at me, and said, "Don't worry, he already knows." Knows what? I nodded and walked away like this happens every day. The coffee disaster. I stopped at a coffee shop just to get a small coffee. Simple, easy, safe. The menu had 37 different types of milk: almond, oat, soy, coconut, something called emotional support milk, I think. The cashier asked, "Do you want that hot, iced, or emotionally neutral?" I said, "Hot." She replied, "Yeah, but like, how hot?" I panicked and said, "Normal hot." She typed for 20 seconds and said, "That'll be $9.43. I paid. At that point, it felt personal. When they called my name, they yelled, "Latte for Brian." I'm not Brian, but nobody else moved. So I became Brian, the parking lot nightmare. After coffee, I walked back to my car and couldn't find it. I pressed the unlock button 3 cars, unlocked. One lady stared at me and said, "Sir, that's my car." I said, "Yeah, mine too, apparently." She called her husband. He showed up in gym shorts and sunglasses and just said, "Happens all the time. Happens all the time. Grocery store that needs therapy. Next stop, grocery store." I went in for 2 items, milk, bread. 30 minutes later, I was pushing a cart with candles, vitamins, chips, and a t-shirt that said, "I tried." At self-checkout, the machine screamed, "Unexpected item in bagging area." I removed the item. It screamed louder. A worker came over, tapped the screen twice, and whispered, "It's sensitive." Why is the machine sensitive? The police encounter. Outside the store, a police officer stopped me and said, "Sir, you can't park here." I pointed at my car and said, "I didn't." He nodded and said, "Smart answer." Then he gave me a warning for honesty. By the time I got home, I was exhausted. My neighbor was still outside with his dog. He looked at me and said, "See? I told him you'd survive." The dog nodded. That's when I realized, in America, nothing makes sense. But somehow, everyone acts like it does. And honestly, that's the scariest part.